Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horse sing.
Don't hesitate. It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow.
Come, all ye tramps and hawking lads, ye gatherers o'block, that tramp the country round and round, come listen ane and all. I'll tell to you a roving tale of sights that I have seen. It's far into the snowy north and south by Gretna Green. Oft times I've laughed unto myself while travelling down the road, with tall rags round me blistered feet, me face as brown as a toad, with lumps of cake and tatty scones, with cheese and braxy ham. I've given no thought to where I'm going, far less to where I've been, and I've done me share of humping with the dockers on the Clyde. I've helped build yon mighty bridge across the Crome and Clyde. I've helped bucky trawl a men all the herring o'er the side, and with many an Angus farmer lad I've ploughed the bonny earth, and I'm happy in the summertime beneath the bright blue sky, not thinking in the morning where at night I'll have to lie, in barn or byre or anywhere, or sleeping in the hay. And if the weather treats me fair, I'm happy all the day. Well, I'm going back to Paddy's land, I'm making up me mind. For Scotland's greatly altered now, I can abide the wind. But I will trust in Providence, and if Providence proves true, I'll sing a song of Erin's land when I come back to you.
All right, all right, all right. The show is Horses Sing None of It. My name is Ralph Litwin, and our guest today is David Jones.
Hi, Ralph.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
You are a resident of New Jersey, but originally from England.
Yeah, I'm a Southeast Londoner, and I'm a North Jerseyan, a Leonian. Live in Leonia, gateway to the Golden West, we call it.
Ah. So tell us a little bit about that song you just did.
Well, that's, I think, one of the great tunes. It's a very well-known tune, used in, I think, in lots of, I think Jim Ringer wrote a song to that tune. The Flower of the San Joaquin, the Rose of the San Joaquin, I think it was called. And it was collected mainly from a bunch of sources, but the Stewart family. And I think you've had the Stewart, any of the Stewarts over here at all? Belle Stewart, she's been over here a number of times. And Ewan MacColl sang it a lot. And it's just a song of the traveling people of Scotland. And the traveling people would wander around looking for work, often picking fruit. In fact, when I was a student, I used to pick fruit in England, and I would see the travellers. They'd be in the next rows, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They could all pick faster than me. the worst job I ever did was trying to pick strawberries.
That's hard work.
Man, you're on your knees all day, and that row never ends. It stretches way up there. But these people and the locals, the local farmers, they could pick like crazy, but poor old David, he was hopeless. I messed one of the verses up there a bit, but doesn't matter too much, because
We didn't notice.
I wish I hadn't said that now then.
Well, what would you like to mess about next?
Well, we've got a great audience here, haven't we? So I can sing one with a chorus.
Sure. We
And
can
I
encourage them
sing,
to-
I sing down at the South Street Seaport with a group called the New York Packet. And you've had a couple of those guys here, Bob Conroy, Dan Milner, and the Johnson Girls. And we get together on Tuesday nights, and we always have a guest, but we sing a few songs to start with. And this is a song I like to sing to get the audience going. And for the great chorus singing group we've got here, it's Row, Bullies, Row. And it's row, row, bullies, row, them Liverpool Judies have got us in tow. That's the chorus. How does it start? When I was a youngster, I sailed with the rest on a Liverpool packet bound out for the west. We anchored a day in the harbour of Cork, and then we set sail for the port of New York, and it's row. Row, bullies, row, them Liverpool Judies have got us in tow. For 32 days we were hungry and sore, the wind was against us and the gales they did roar. Off Battery Point we did anchor at last, with our jibboom pulled to and our canvas made fast, and it's row. Row, bullies, row, them Liverpool Judies have got us in tow. Them boarding house masters were aboard in a trice, shouting and promising all that was nice. And one fat old crimp took a fancy to me. He said, "You're a fool, lad, to follow the sea," and it's row. Row, bullies, row, them Liverpool Judies have got us in tow. He said, "There's a job that is waiting for you, with lashings of liquor and nothing to do." He said, "Come on, lad, will you jump off too?" I said, "You old bleeder, I'm damned if I do," and it's row. Row, bullies, row, them Liverpool Judies have got us in tow. But the best of intentions, they never go far. After 32 days at the door of a bar, I tossed back me liquor, and what do you think? That rotten old bleeder, he doctored me drink, and it's row. Row, bullies, row, them Liverpool Judies have got us in tow. The next I remember, I awoke in the morn on a 3 skysail yard bound south round the Horn. A new suit of oilskins and 3 pair of socks, and an IOU nailed to the lid of me box, and it's row. Row, bullies, row, them Liverpool Judies have got us in tow. Some call, "Come on, you young sailors, take a warning by me. Keep an eye on your drink when the liquor is free, and pay no attentions to runners or girls. Keep your hat on your head and your feet on the shore, and it's row. Row, bullies, row, them Liverpool Judies have got us in tow."
All right. Very good.
Well, there we go. And we come down Tuesday nights when
Where-
we start again in the winter. Look at
Where does it take place?
the South Street Seaport in the Melville Gallery, right on Water Street and Fulton Street.
Very good.
Yeah, it's all right. I've been singing down South Street Seaport since 1970. Started there with a group called the Ex-Siemens Institute. And they call themselves the Ex-Siemens Institute because there was a real Siemens Institute. They first called themselves the Siemens Institute. But the people who belonged to the real Siemens Institute got upset because our singing was so bad. So we call ourselves the Ex-Siemens Institute. And anyway, they were a lot of fun.
Did you grow up in a musical family, or did you?
No.
How did you?
No.
How did you come to music?
I grew up in, I was born in the East End of London, in the Docklands called the Isle of Dogs. That's on East London. And I lived there just for a couple of years, and then we moved to South London. Then war broke out, and I was an evacuee. I was evacuated up to various parts of the country. They first evacuated us down to the south coast, and then some bright spark in the government said, wait a minute, that's not a good idea having them, all these little kids on the south coast. The Germans are just over there. So they moved us up. Then after the war we came back to London, and then right through to my 20s I lived in southeast London. And you say musical family, like all my aunts and uncles sang the old musical songs. And you know, Walter, Walter, lead me to the altar. I don't take much to keep in food. Walter, Walter, lead me to the altar, and I'll show you where I'm tattooed. I've got me bottom drawer packed, and me bridal gown is almost new. Walter, Walter, lead me to the altar. It's either the workhouse or you. So they sang songs like that. Uncle Charlie played the accordion, sang Paddling Madeline Home, and that sort of stuff. And who were the big people at that time? Were the Andrews Sisters and the Mills Brothers and the Ink Spots. So they sing all those songs too.
Great stuff.
No, I think it's good stuff, yeah. In fact, I used to work in the World Trade Center, and they used to have concerts there in the summer. And on Thursdays they had Golden Oldies concerts. All the old doo-wop groups would come up. And it's funny, they'd be singing their songs, you'd look around the people standing there, they were all singing along. Everyone knew those words, so I think that's the next folk music.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So we should tell folks how they can find out more information about you and your recordings. Your website is www.davidjones.ws.
Yeah, all you really have to do is davidjones.ws. And I guess WS stands for website. That's just davidjones.ws will get you there anyway, and that lists various recordings I've done with various groups. I've been in a bunch of groups, one called the Starboard List. And I've done some singing with Dan Zanes. He's the big guru now for young audiences' music.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on his label with a record called Widdicombe Fair that won a Parents' Choice Gold Award for Best Children's Recording of that year.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
It's a nice honor.
Yeah, it was very nice, yeah. It was very nice. And there was songs basically I did with Bill Shute, the guitarist Bill Shute, and a lot of them were just songs I sang at school. And Widdicombe Fair we sang at school. The Keel Row. As I came in through Sandgate, through Sandgate, through Sandgate, as I came in through Sandgate, I heard a lassie sing. Oh, well may the keel row, the keel row, the keel row. Well may the keel row that my dear lad is in. So we sang some good songs at school. Not all of them were good, but in fact, when I was at school, I thought they were rotten songs, you know. When I was a kid, we didn't like singing those songs, but afterwards, now I look back and say, wow, some of those are good songs. Once, I don't know how this song got into our repertoire at school, but it was just a couple of verses. Maybe you know this one. Riding down from Bangor on an eastern train, after weeks of hunting in the woods of Maine, quite extensive whiskers, beard, moustache as well, sat a student fellow, tall and slim and swell. I don't know how that got into our school repertoire, but somehow it did. We used to sing that. And I sang with the London Schools Choir. And what we sang with that choir was a bit heavier. We had to sing those Shakespearean songs. Nymphs and shepherds, come away, nymphs and shepherds, come away, come away. Something like that. Anyway.
What else would you like to share with us now?
Well, shall I do a silly one?
By all means.
Yeah, because this was a big hit while we were practicing. This is called Luster in Gloucester. And I spent a lot of time in Gloucester, Massachusetts, where what this song is about, with the starboard list, Charlie O'Haggerty and Peter Marston. I lost her in Gloucester by the sea. I told her that I loved her and she said that she loved me. But this ship was loaded and so was she. Well, I lost her in Gloucester by the sea. It was down by the ocean that I first found her. Just for the halibut I threw my arms around her. But I could not get to first bass with her. She was all muscle and she had an ugly kisser. She was pickerel most of the time. She was hard of hearing and she smelt like turpentine. But I fell for her with a hook, line and sinker. How was I to know she was a whale of a drinker? Well, I lost her in Gloucester by the sea. I never said goodbye or auf Wiedersehen to me. So here I'll perch on this rock by the sea, and I'll sing you this tune of the girl that once loved me.
Full of puns, that one.
Yeah, it's not much pointless in singing it. Really, Could I sing you a little song from the Southwest?
Sure.
Because I really love cowboy songs. And this is a Blackjack Davy song that I learned from a brilliant West Coast singer named Larry Hanks, wonderful singer. And he got it off a Library of Congress recording, and called Clayton Boone. Out along in New Mexico, down on the Spanish line, I was working for old Clayton Boone, a man well past his prime. He rides in and he asks of me, what's happened to my lady? I says to him, she's quit your range. She's gone with the handsome Davy. Go saddle for me that proud cut dun, with a coal black mane and tail. Point out to me their fresh made tracks, and after them I'll trail. I'll buckle on my leathern chaps, I'll tie my pistol over, I'll step aboard that proud cut dun and ride the wide world over. And I'll ride upon a saddle fine, a saddle made of silver, with bridle reins of the beaten gold, not of your common leather. Well, I rode until the midnight moon, and I seen their campfires gleaming, and I heard the sweetest mandolin and the voice of the young Dave singing. Come home to your own sweet bed, with the sheets turned down so gaily. Do not forget my silver and gold, and your darling baby. I'll not come home to my own sweet bed, with the sheets turned down so gaily. And I'll forget your silver and gold, all for the love of Davy. But I can't forget my baby. Last night I slept in a golden room, the golden room so stately. Tonight I'll sleep on the hard cold ground, by the warm side of my Davy. I'll ride along with Dave. I think it was, I think the soul singer's name was Cowboy Harry Edwards. I think that was his name.
Very good. Now you have some background in the theater as well.
Yeah, I've been associated with the Revels, based up in Cambridge, for many, many years now, and the role I play there is of the street singer, the Cockney street singer, and the parlour singer. And I've done that show now in, I think, 10 different cities. And also I've been done quite a bit of off-Broadway, about as far as off as you can get. But I was lucky enough to get into the Ibsen series a few years ago, where we did all the 12 major plays that Ibsen wrote in the order which he wrote them.
Wow.
I was only in 2 of them, but we got very well represented in the press, New York Times and all the other theatre press. And I've done a lot of musicals here in New Jersey at the what's now called the Bergen County Performing Arts Center. It used to be called the John Harms Center in Englewood.
Yep.
I've been in Pickering in My Fair Lady, and Max in The Sound of Music, and Mr. Lundy, because I could do a Scottish accent, see, so I got the part for Mr. Lundy and Brigadoon, and a whole bunch more. I did about 10 of them there. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. And I belong to the, in my town, we've got the oldest continuous Players Guild certainly in New Jersey, the Leonia Players Guild. It's a very fine theatre group.
Great.
So I like doing that.
Want to sing us another song?
Yeah, why not? Let's see what I wrote down on the piece of paper here. I've got such a poor memory. I'll sing you, here we are, Treat Me Daughter Decent. This has obviously got some music hall beginnings. And I've learned that just by changing the work that the guy in the first line did, you could make it a farming song, you could make it a sea song. I choose to make it a sea song by singing, there was an old sea captain and he lived in Illinois. He had a lovely daughter, she was his pride and joy. I asked if I could see her home and guide her on the way. But when we got into a house, I heard her daddy say, treat me daughter decent, don't do her any harm. And when I die, I'll leave to you me little house and farm. Me horse, me plough, me pig, me plough, me ducks, and all me hens, and all the little chickens in the garden. When we were a-courting, I was so bloomin' shy, I'd never a blessed word to say when folk were passing by. But when I got her all alone, asked her to name the day, she said she would, but don't forget what you heard me daddy say. Treat me daughter decent, don't do her any harm, and when I die I'll leave to you me little house and farm. Me horse, me plough, me pig, me plough, me ducks and all me hens, and all the little chickens in the garden. Now we are married, we keep a little farm. Me wife, she is me only joy, she is me only charm. And when I squeeze and tease her, she reminds me of the day when first I took her to her house and I heard her daddy say, treat me daughter decent, don't do her any harm, and when I die I'll leave to you me little house and farm. Me horse, me cow, me pig, me plough, me ducks and all me hens, all together now, and all the little chickens in the garden.
Great stuff, David. We just have time to plug your website one more time and take it out with a little tune.
Okie doke.
So it's
davidjones.ws.
For more information about recordings and schedule of appearances.
Yeah, I don't
can
think I've
check
got that
that.
on there because I don't know how to, I don't know how to type it in, but
Oh, they can contact you with your
yeah,
email
they can
address.
contact me via that website or shermanjones@yahoo.com.
Great, give us a little
Yeah,
bit of
and
the
this is the
tune.
Leaving of Liverpool. This was collected by local New Jersey hero Bill Dorflinger. Wrote a great books, songs the Whaler Man sang. The Leaving of Liverpool, collected on Staten Island. Fare thee well, the Prince's Landing Stage, River Mersey, fare thee well. I am bound for California, that's a place that I know right well. So fare thee well, my own true love, when I return united we shall be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but me darling,